This is Jesse Dickens, Liverpool fighter. Make sure you subscribe to Sporting Icons.
So Tony Bellew, who has his rematch with David Haye on May the 5th at the O2 Arena in London for a rematch that a lot of people are very, very excited for in the UK. But he says that all going well, and he believes that it will go well, of course, then he wants to face the winner of the World Boxing Super Series. And he believes that person will be Oleksandre Usyk. Now, he did say that he is WBC champion, Emirates, and he believes that because Oleksandre Usyk is going to have that belt at the end of the tournament, he's entitled to that fight. And not only that, he says that when he faces Oleksandre Usyk, he's going to chin him. He says that he can't outbox Usyk, and his face and his hands are going to be sore, and he's expecting a very, very tough fight. But Oleksandre Usyk is there to be hit, and Tony Bellew says he will knock him out. In his own words, he will chin that big streak of piss. Now, that's very brave words. I mean, considering that Usyk is on about moving up to heavyweight after this tournament anyway, and of course all going well against Murat Gaziev. And Gaziev is no joke. We've seen that in his last fight against Duchenne. So it's not a given that Usyk is going to get past this guy anyway. But he's definitely the favourite, and I'm picking him to win the tournament, as I did at the very beginning, as a lot of you guys did as well. Now, as for Tony Bellew taking on Usyk, I think, now, okay, I like Tony Bellew, but I think he's starting to believe in his own hype. And his own hype is he won a cruiserweight title, the WBC, at Goodison Park. That was a huge event, right? But he's been chinned himself by Adonis Stevenson at light heavyweight. He lost to Nathan Cleverly. He did get him back in a rematch, of course. But against Oleksandre Usyk, who has an excellent amateur background and hasn't put a foot wrong since he turned pro. He's menacing, he's intimidating, and one hell of a boxer. He really, really is. Now, for me, I'm not too sure how Usyk is going to get along with the bigger guys in the division, for example, Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, these kind of guys. But guys who can get down to cruiserweight, like a David Haye or a Tony Bellew, for example, you would probably pick Usyk to win. Now, David Haye of a few years ago, I would say would probably walk through Usyk. Well, maybe walk through is a bit strong, but I believe that David Haye would have definitely had his number. And Tony Bellew is saying that his dream is to become undisputed cruiserweight champion. And with him being the WBC champion in waiting, if you like, then he's entitled to activate this at any given time. Now, of course, he did win that belt at Goodison Park against Makabu, and then defended it against BJ Flores, then moved up to heavyweight and beat David Haye. And let's be real about this. I mean, I did pick David Haye to beat Tony Bellew, but I wanted Tony Bellew to win, purely because I was getting tired of David Haye's thievish ways, and I've been getting fed up of it for like the best part of a year. So when it all happened, I was happy for Tony Bellew. I really was. But since then, he's kind of like turning into the person that he accused David Haye of, which was becoming a diva, believing in his own hype, always talking and whatever. And it does get a little bit repetitive. Now, he has over-exceeded. There's no doubt about it. He really has. And he is a tough nut to crack. He is very, very tough. Light heavyweight, you could see he was too skinny. He was definitely drained, which of course probably led to him losing to Adonis Stevenson and Nathan Cleverly in the past. But as I said, he did get revenge on Nathan Cleverly and won that one anyway. But as cruiserweight, he has found his feet. But even then, he's not the best around. Against Makabu, he did get dropped himself. And yes, he does punch hard. There's no doubt about it. But I don't see anything with Usyk that suggests that Tony Bellew, of all people, can chin him, can knock him out. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying that I haven't seen any kind of evidence of that. I really haven't. He does punch hard, no doubt, but so does Usyk. Tony Bellew has been chinned before. Tony Bellew has been on the canvas before. on more than one occasion. So, for me, yeah, I'd watch it. Of course I would. I'd love to watch it. And for Tony Bellew, this is a short route, if you like, to becoming Cruiserweight Undisputed Champion. No doubt about it. I'm not too sure what's happening with Lebedev, although I believe he's been demoted to regular champion or something like that. Anyway, I would definitely watch it. But first things first, he's got to get past David Haye, and that's no easy feat. That is for sure. I'm going to be picking David Haye to win this one. I think David Haye will be a lot smarter in the rematch. And if that all goes to plan for David Haye, of course, then we won't see Tony Bellew box again. That's just my opinion, because, I mean, he was already talking about quitting once before and taking a loss to David Haye. Even though on paper he's supposed to lose, I think that he will just take his money and go live a very comfortable, good life, and all good luck to him. Like I said, I am a fan of Tony Bellew, just ever since he beat David Haye, and as I said before, let's be real about this, he injured his Achilles heel, and it took him a further 5 rounds to finish off David Haye. But even then, he didn't finish him off. Shane McGuigan threw in the towel, and at that point, he shouldn't have threw in the towel. You know, I think David Haye would have made it to the end of the round and then into the final round. So, anyway, that is what it is. Now, of course, he does have a victory in the sense of most people, including myself, thought that David Haye was going to get him out of there early doors. And he did get into round number 6. And he also did break his hand, or sprained his hand, or whatever it was, in the second round. So, of course, he was fighting pretty much one-handed, and he had no power, if you like. So, you could argue that one for him. But first things first, he's got to get past David Haye. Let's see what kind of David Haye turns up. Let's see what kind of Tony Bellew turns up. Tony Bellew obviously hasn't fought since that first fight with Haye anyway. So, of course, he's been inactive. He's been living the good life. When you see him at the press conference and doing his punditry work and whatever for Sky, you can see he's put on a bit of timber. He's got a few love handles going on. So he really needs to be shifting that off. And good luck with him against David Haye, of course. But as for Oleksandre Usyk, the guy is on a mission. The guy is focused. The guy is tough. He's one hell of a boxer. He can punch hard. He can take punches. For me, I would pick Oleksandre Usyk to beat Tony Bellew and beat him quite comfortably. Now, I'm not going to write off Tony Bellew. Let's not say I am, because Tony Bellew proves people wrong all the time. And of course, if he was to fight Usyk, I would want him to win. But I have to be real, and I honestly believe Oleksandre Usyk will beat Tony Bellew without too much issue. I think probably later rounds he'll probably end up stopping Tony Bellew. But if it does go the distance, Tony Bellew's not going to beat him on points. Now, again, let's go back to him with his statement that I would chin him. No, I think for him, he believes that he's more powerful than what he really is. He does have power. Of course he does. He can knock out most people. But he's not the kind of guy who can set up Usyk in order to knock him out. Usyk's very difficult to hit. He does move at the right time. Punches usually just glance him. It's very rare you see him get hit flush. Now, against Bradis, he did get hit flush. That wasn't the best Usyk that we've seen. I think everybody can agree on that one. That was a very, very close fight, and a fight that I thought Usyk was going to win hands down easy. But it wasn't easy. I know some people will say that it was, but for me it wasn't. Bradis did a hell of a lot better than what I thought he was going to do. Maybe I was blinded a little bit in that one, because he did what I didn't think he was going to do, which was stand toe-to-toe with Usyk at times and outbox Usyk at times. But can Tony Bellew do this? No, I think he's the wrong age. He doesn't live the life, if you like. But, of course, when he's in camp, he's very, very committed. It's just that in between camp, he doesn't appear to be, because he has put on a bit of timber. Maybe this time round, a lot of it is down to the fact that he hasn't been working as hard, because he has been going through the bereavement process and everything with his family. And the cancellation of his rematch with David Haye first time around was probably the right thing to do. I don't believe Tony Bellew would have been going in there with the right frame of mind, and he wouldn't have prepared properly, because at the back of his mind he still got that. He still has to go home, you know, and with the bereavements of all that kind of thing, he didn't have the time to mourn, if you like. So now he has. But as I said, him beating Oleksandre Usyk, I'd love it if he beat Usyk, but I'm a realist and I don't see it. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe, catch you next video.